Makai Lemon, wide receiver from USC.
This is one of the best separators and route technicians out of all wide receivers in the draft class. And I think he 100% has that dog in him, something that you cannot put on paper with the stats.
Makai Lemon is my favorite wide receiver in this draft class. I'm just going to start that video like that. This guy is special. Every quarterback, every retired wide receiver say young wide receivers need to do this. When you get around to the boundary in that last 5 section outside the hash marks, you stack that corner to give your quarterback some room. Use those last 5 yards to lay the ball in over the top. And on this play, you see the USC quarterback lay in a great throw and Makai Lemon make an absolute acrobatic hands away from the body, separation catch. Truly, it just shows off every single thing he can do. Route technician, knows his fundamentals, and has the ball skills to make some amazing plays. We also see a 40-yard touchdown pass against Michigan State. Not only does he get open on this play, it's absolutely incredible piece of technique. He's open. The ball is slightly, ever so slightly, it's a great throw, but ever so slightly out of his stride. And what he does is he slows down just the tiniest bit, and that sets up the corner to get ready to make some kind of play, to make some kind of tackle. And as soon as that ball touches his hands, he jumps a tiny bit, and it's a burst of speed into the end zone. He tricks the corner. He shows the finesse. He shows his nose for the end zone. And the final thing I want to talk about that he does so excellently is he is a home run hitter. Throughout his career, he has a feel for the open field. He has a feel for the blocking. He has a feel for the pursuit angles. And he's trying to take every ball to the end zone. You see it over and over and over again. He gets that ball in the open field, and he finds his way towards the end zone, crossing up defenders, making his blockers' job easy so that he can go get his team a touchdown. If you could teach this, everybody would have it, but you can't, and that's why Makai Lemon's my favorite wide receiver.
I would definitely point out the fact that he has very, very short hands, and his contested catching for his size is actually pretty impressive. He only had 3 drops on 175 targets over his last 2 seasons. He catches over 50% of his contested balls on his career. And again, he's 5'11". This isn't like a 6'5" DK Metcalf kind of like go up and get it guy. He's doing this at 5'11", which is insanely impressive in my eyes. He has elite hands, elite catch timing, which is something that helps him make those contested catches. He's not going to sell his hands early. He has great body control. He's, in my opinion, is one of the safest guys to go through and get at wide receiver in the class. Again, his route running and football IQ is great. The technique there, he doesn't necessarily win with athleticism like some other guys do, but the fact that he is very sound in his technique, and he can manipulate defenders with his footwork. He drops his hips out of the breaks extremely well. He doesn't lose speed when he does it. He can find the soft spot in the zone. There's a lot of great things to say about Makai Lemon, but there are a few weaknesses, and I don't necessarily think these are NFL career defining weaknesses. The first one is going to be his size, like at 5'11", 195 pounds, not the biggest, most physically demanding wide receiver. We've seen guys at this size be completely fine in the NFL, but we can also see that more physically demanding corners that maybe have longer arms than he does can challenge him at the line in ways that college defensive backs just really can't do. His size can get him pushed off of routes just a little bit against more physical corners. In the NFL, we know those kinds of guys are a lot easier to find. But again, the catch radius is there. I do think he has a little bit of slot dependency just from what we saw in college. Not that he can't line up out wide and do that. I think he's insanely talented. But from looking at what we saw in college, he projects almost exclusively as a slot wide receiver. Out of the top 30 wide receivers in the 2025 year of PFF grades, only 7 guys had slot rates above 50%, even close to Makai Lemon. Again, don't really think it's a huge weakness, but we see Amon-Ra very, very good in the slot. Wendell Robinson last year, very good in the slot. Like, he can be that. Might not see him line up outside a ton. I think if he does, he can do it, though.
Yep, my main weakness that I see, and again, this is still my favorite wide receiver, but the size concern, it is a concern, is 5'11". He does not have elite speed. He's not a 4.3 guy. He's more of a 4.5 guy, which can be successful in the NFL. We'll go to my player comp, almost the exact same size and speed. Great route runner that we'll get to. But if he's facing the number 1 corner with long arms, I think of the Steelers. I think of Joey Porter Jr. could be a dangerous player. He's got super long arms. He's very fast. It gives you a little bit more opportunity to guess. And if you can guess against a wide receiver like Makai Lemon, because you have the additional speed and the additional length of the arms and additional height, it will make him a little bit easier to cover. So we're going to have to see how he does against this next level NFL talent.
And after looking at all the statistics and the film for Makai Lemon, I came up with a ceiling and a floor NFL player comp for him. The floor is going to be more of a Jahan Dotson guy. Now, I am a Commanders fan, so I unfortunately watched him play way more football than I hope you guys have. I think at a floor perspective, like very talented slot guy. He flashes when he has those chances, but never really puts it together. From a ceiling perspective, like I kind of alluded to earlier, Amon-Ra St. Brown is somebody you can compare him to. Very high slot volume receiver. He wins with IQ. He's not the fastest guy, I believe. A 4 or 5 something in the 40-yard dash back when he did it. He makes the life for his quarterback easy. He's a Pro Bowl level guy in year one. I think he's going to be the most fantasy relevant wide receiver in the slot role that he does play.
And for my pro comp, I had to go to JSN. And I know that may be a big jump for JSN with how great of a year he had, but these players are pretty much the same height and almost the exact same speed, and they both possess the amazing route running ability. It's just absolutely incredible. That play where he had against Texas A&M, where he stacks that corner, almost exact same play out of the slot for JSN this year against the Commanders. We also saw against the Colts for JSN, that ability that he gets the ball in the open field and he sets up the blockers. He finds the holes. And as a not fast wide receiver, JSN, I mean, he looks fast because he's always finding the open field, but he's a 4-5 guy, just like Makai Lemon. He sets up his blockers and he gets out in that open field. And he's a player, I think Makai Lemon, if the right team gets him and we get the 100% effort across the board, he is going to be a special wide receiver, even starting right from play number one.
One thing we didn't really touch on in this video is the character potential concerns. I'm not super worried about it because Makai Lemon is a certified dog. Of the top 3 elite guys in this class, I rank him second, but that's just because there's another guy that I prefer, and you'll find out who that is if you keep watching this series. One thing about Makai Lemon that I think is a little underrated, he carried the ball 9 times in 2025. I think if he goes to a creative offensive coordinator and he gets carries, he's going to have some insane weeks for fantasy football very early in his career. This is someone who's going to contribute to an offense as soon as he touches the field. I'm very excited to see him play. I'm going to give you guys a couple comps here. We'll start with the floor comp. I have the same exact one as Avery did, Jahan Dotson. We all know how that turned out. No need to, beat a dead horse there. In terms of ceiling, everyone's going to tell you Amon-Ra St. Brown, which is probably fair. I'm going to give you 2 different guys. First guy I see a lot of, you might remember his salsa dance. I see a lot of Victor Cruz in Makai Lemon. Not the speediest guys, but if they're in space, they can go the distance. Operating out of the slot with a lot of technique and capable pass catching. Very elusive, good at breaking tackles. He plays bigger than he is. And I think Victor Cruz is the exact definition of what I just said. Now, this one is probably my favorite player comp that you could ever see in the rookie guide this year. Let's take you in a real-time machine. I want you to think back to the 1990s, early 2000s. We're looking at New York Jet legend Wayne Chrebet. This guy operated out of the slot, similar size to Makai Lemon, sure-handed and tough as nails. He and Wayne Chrebet is not a comp you're going to see everywhere, but I think it's a very valid one. I'm really, really excited. The film on Makai Lemon does not lie, and his ceiling is going to be absolutely to the moon. You need to download the WalterPicks app and check out our rookie guide. It's going to give you all the information you could possibly need to prepare for your Dynasty rookie drafts, as well as your regular season fantasy drafts. I cannot wait for you guys to get your hands on it. It has all the information. We are breaking everyone down that's going to be relevant for fantasy football, and I hope you enjoy it.